Hey guys, how you going? This is BillyEatWorld again, and this week I've been playing a lot with the gunner class in Sandstorm, and so I've got some tips for you guys. And I should point out that this video was actually a suggestion from a subscriber called Zazek, so make sure you let me know what class you want to see next in the comments, and you never know, it might make it into the next episode. As for the gunner though, well, if you keep up to date with this channel, you'd know that I'm not really a fan of LMGs in general, but I've got to say in Sandstorm, they're a lot more fun and challenging than in other games. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about some of the quirks of the LMGs and of the gunner kit in general, and some of the easy ways you can get around them and be more effective on the battlefield. Okay, so to kick off, the first point we're going to talk about kind of goes without saying, and it's to always take a knee when you're about to fire with an LMG. And that's because, well, the recoil of these guns is seriously insane, and it's actually kind of hilarious and sad how hard it is to hit anyone while you're standing up. So what that means is that you'll pretty much always want to keep a finger on the crouch key, and you'll want to practice hitting it at the same time as you fire. Or better yet, just make sure that you've crouched before you open fire, which isn't always the easiest thing to do, and so that's a point that we're going to come back to and talk about in just a bit. Also, along the same sort of lines as the last point, another important tip is don't be afraid to use the Bipod to lock down lanes, and in fact, you want to use it whenever you can. And I know in some games bipodding is kind of dangerous to do, but in Sandstorm there's no spotting mechanic, and so that means that if you stay still while you're prone, you'll be a lot harder to see. The most important thing though is that when you are bipodded, your shots will be a lot more accurate and effective out to very long ranges. And once suppression kicks in, as long as you can see them first, most players just won't have a chance to react before you can actually take them out. Now, so far already, you've probably realized that a key to being effective with the gunner is to predict your enemy's movements and to be prepared ahead of time. And so that brings us to the next point, which is that you absolutely need to be smart and you need to consciously play defensively when you're using an LMG. What that means is that you'll always want to try to flank around the enemy, and you'll also want to use attachments like suppressors and flash hiders to hide your position. Because I'm telling you, this isn't Battlefield, and if you rely on your twitch reflexes and get yourself into head-to-head gunfights, well, you're going to lose them 90% of the time. Another easy way to play defensively is to make sure that you keep yourself at a reasonable distance from where you think the enemy is going to be. And sure, you're still going to be at a disadvantage if a marksman spots you, but like I said before, if you can bipod up at long range, you can lock down whole objectives. All you need to do to see how effective this is to take a look at the scoreboard of just about any match, and usually at the top, you're going to see the players with the most kills are the gunners. And the reason for this is they're probably doing what I just mentioned. They've equipped a 4x scope, and they're overlooking choke points and mowing everything down that moves in their field of view. Now, just before we finish up, a quick but very useful tip for when you're bipodded is that it only takes a split second when you're not concentrating for an enemy to get the jump on you. And so what that means is that when you're aiming down sights and you know that there's an enemy about to pop out, well, the last thing you want to do is pull back out of ADS and lose the initiative that you had. One of the issues, though, with this kind of situation is that when you're prone, if you move, well, the game will pull you out of ADS even if you're still holding in the button. And here's the tip, the way to get around this is to not hold in the move button, but to tap it lightly so that the animation never gets a chance to kick in. But finally, the last point I want to mention is that suppression is actually a really useful tool in Sandstorm, and especially so for the gunner, because often you'll find yourself bipodded up, sometimes for a really long time, just overlooking an objective and waiting for enemies to pop their head out. Well, during that time, your teammates will still presumably be moving around, and what you can do to help them out is to suppress key points like windows and doorways. Because even if you physically can't actually see any enemies inside a room, you're the one on the team with enough ammo to spare to fire through the walls and force any enemies inside to retreat, which may save your teammates' lives. But anyway, guys, I guess that just about wraps up this video, so let me know what you think about the gunner class in the comment section below, and let me know if you've got any tips that you think I missed. Also, like I said before, I'm taking suggestions for this series and for other videos in general. So let me know what class you want to see next in this series, or if you've got any other topic ideas. As always, though, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and please feel free to check out the links in the description if you want to see any more of these videos. And also, don't forget you can find my Twitter and Discord links down there as well if you want to keep in touch with me. And as always, until next time, see you later and have a good one.